Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Brianna and this is For Positive Book. I make bookish videos over here on my little corner of the internet. So if you're interested in that, make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. Today I am going to be making a casual TBR for the Magical Readathon. Alright, we're gonna change the angle because I've got weird shadows in my house. It's fine. I am going to casually participate in the Magical Readathon. And you're thinking, Brie, you're insane. You're running your own very in-depth readathon. Yes, I am. I might take August and September to participate in the Magical Readathon. That might be a thing that happens. I don't know. We'll see. I was very strategic in this and I picked books that I know will overlap, and I also picked a lot of short books because face-off weekend for the Amazing Readathon will be like, you're just getting points to read books, so you want to read short books, right? That's literally the only thing. So I picked a lot of short books. I think that this is doable. So if you're not familiar with the Magical Readathon, hi, welcome to BookTube. It is probably one of the biggest, most in-depth readathons there is on BookTube. It is hosted by G over at the Book Roast. I will link her video down below. I'm not going to try to explain it. This has been going on for years. I have been doing this readathon since I started on BookTube, back when it was the Owl's Magical Readathon, so I didn't want to not participate, if that makes sense. So that's why we're doing this, okay? It's the nostalgia. So, I don't remember anything about my character. I just remember buying this crown specifically to do my announcement video the very first time. So, that's why we're wearing it again today. I think I was a fairy elf, wood elf, something, I don't know. But I am actually going to be changing my career. So, I was doing the Master of the Elements career, and I had been doing that for a few semesters, and I thought it was time for a change. One, because I wanted an easier one, and I didn't want to have to read like 9 books for this. 2, I thought that this new career embodied what my role for Amazing Readathon is. So, that's what we're doing. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I am hosting the Amazing Readathon in August. It is a Amazing Race inspired competitive readathon. So I'm going to be mostly focusing on that, but when they overlap, it'll work out great. So I'm going to be doing Story Weaver, which is a teller of stories, and as I am going to be the one guiding everyone along on the Amazing Readathon, I thought that that made sense, right? They work in matters of security, and they guide people. So that's what I thought. This made sense, okay? It might be a little bit of a stretch, but I actually don't care. This is what we're going with. For this one, I will need to read 6 books, so it is still pretty big. At least, you know, for someone who's trying to do a whole lot of things. But like I said, I picked some very short books, so I think I will be able to get like half of this done during the face-off weekend. So my first class that I need to take is Inscription. I need to get an ordinary on that, or O, which means I need to read 1 book for this. And that is that I need to read something off of my end-of-year TBR. For this, I'm going to be taking something from my 23 and 23, but I don't know which one yet. And that is because there are a lot of books on there that have, you know, various different colors. I've got red books on there, I've got yellow books on there, I've got green books, purple books, blue books. I've got them all. So essentially, depending on which team I end up for a specific role, I will try to fit one of those on there. For Psionics and Divination, I need to get qualified, which means I need to read 2 books. For the first one is Intro to Tarot, and that means that I need to pick a tarot card and then find a book that matches the tarot card some way. Let's do that right now. I have these absolutely gorgeous tarot cards. They have like gold foil on the edge of it. This is like one of my favorite decks I've ever had. So we are just going to pick a card. I'm gonna try to mix them up just a little bit without, like, you know, making a mess. I actually haven't used these in a while, so I'm a little rusty with it. Okay, here we go. We're just gonna pick one and go from there. All right, we have the 2 of Cups. Let's see if we can find a book. Okay, this could be stretching it a little bit, but I don't care. I'm pulling one from my August TV, from my Kerplunk TBR. So on here, on the very bottom of it, there's a bunch of like crystals. So I'm gonna be reading Wretched by Emily McIntyre. This is the book that Ryan and I's Patreon is going to be reading as a book club. So I do have to read it in the month of August. And then if you look at this heart, they are like made of stones, crystals. So that is what we're gonna do there. And then for qualified for the second book under this subject, I have to do Reading the Future, and that is to read a book set in the future. I went ahead and put Love and Gravity, an Always Human story on here by Ari North. This is an absolutely beautiful, precious graphic novel that is set in the future, and it's already on my Kerplunk TBR. This one will definitely be read during face-off weekend. It's a graphic novel. I'm gonna be trying to read a ton of graphic novels that weekend. That's a little hint for you guys. We will see if we're able to. The last subject that we have to complete is lore. Now we do have to get a D distinguished in this subject, which means we have to read 3 books for it. The first one for ordinary is Tale of the Guide, and that is to read a bookseller recommendation. For this, I'm going to be reading The Honeymoon Crashers by Christina Lauren. This is a novella that was on the Libro FM ALC list, so we're gonna call that a bookseller's recommendation. I was looking through some of my Libro picks, and this one stood out to me. It's also pretty short because it's a novella. So again, it will be a great option for face-off weekend if the prompts allow it. For Q, the prompt is Cursed Cloaks, and the prompt is to read a book with clothing on the cover. I have a couple of options for this. Literally, like if they have if there's a person on the cover, they will be likely wearing clothes, unless it's like a shirtless man, but you know, so like I have lots of options for this, but the one that I picked was actually a non-fiction, and it's Have I Told You This Before by Lauren Graham. This is the person that was in Gilmore Girls. Her memoirs are hilarious. I've read all of them so far except for this one, but this is another one that was on my Libro FM ALC list. Sorry, my crown is a little bit crooked today. It's because it's been sitting up on my shelf for a year now. Anyways, I don't know much about this, but it's an option. It's also a very yellow book, and I don't have a ton of yellow books in my pile of possibilities, so this is an option if I land on the yellow team. And then for distinguished, it is Omen Lily, and I have to read a book with Lily in the title or on the cover or in the author's name, and honestly this was hard. I actually don't have anything. I looked on Goodreads. I don't have anything, but I read a book a couple of years ago called The Pretend Girlfriend by Lily Craig, and I was like, well, wonder if she's got any more stuff, because I really liked that book, but I never read anything else. But then I found When She Thaws. It is a sapphic, kind of forced proximity, I think, romance where this woman, after a health scare with her mother, she goes on a trip to Austria and then meets this other woman who, like, her husband left her for like a much younger woman, and now she's like, maybe I'm not straight. I do remember Pretend Girlfriend being really steamy. Now that was obviously like several years ago, so I don't know if it's actually steamy or if I just didn't know what I was talking about back then. So this one will be interesting. Again, a really short book. I think the audiobook is about 6 hours long, so provided that the prompts allow it, this could be a really good one for the face-off weekend. Okay, everybody, so that is what I'm going to be reading for the Magical Readathon. I'm going to attempt to try to do all of this in August. It's doable depending on how my spinner wheel works. Since I am not picking a team, I am literally spinning for a new team every time we get to a new city. So it's chaos over here, okay? We're gonna try. If I don't get all of these done in August, I will just move them into September, and we're just, you know, we'll take an extension. Let me know down in the comments below if you are participating in the Magical Readathon and what career you are striving for. And if you're not feeling chatty, let's do a cat emoji. I have no idea why. That just sounds fun. That is all I have for you today. If you're new here and you have not yet subscribed, there is a little button that you can do so down below the video. If you'd like to hang out with me more, the links to my Instagram, Goodreads, Twitter, and my Patreon are linked in the description below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!